go to Newcastle County. Police are looking for the gunman who opened fire during an unsanctioned car meetup, killing a teenager. It happened around 2 yesterday morning on Bear Corbett Road in Newcastle. Police say the 17-year-old and a 21-year-old man were involved in some sort of fight with the people shooting. And that's when the teen was hit multiple times. The 21-year-old was shot in the foot. He's in stable condition.
Right now at 5, stunning new video showing the moment a Philadelphia police officer fatally shot a man in North Philadelphia last week while he sat in his car. Good evening, I'm Sheba Russell. That home surveillance video released today by the attorney for the driver's family. And Jeff, you can see the officer fire his weapon just seconds after stepping out of his patrol vehicle.
Sheba, that is exactly what this video depicts. Certainly, the video is, as you say, stunning and startling. And a word of caution to our viewers tonight, it is certainly difficult to watch. But yes, it does show the 27-year-old is shot and killed within moments of police approaching. The video shows Eddie Irizarry pulling up in his vehicle, music blaring, going the wrong way on East Willard Street. He backs up and police quickly pull up alongside him. The officers jump out of their vehicles, guns drawn, shouting. 6 shots are fired, killing the 27-year-old as he sits behind the wheel. Today, as the Irizarry family turned away from the images, their attorney played the video for reporters.
A crime happened. The district attorney's office is in charge of dealing with people who commit crimes.
What's the crime? Is the crime murder in your view?
Jeff, in my view, this is a crime against humanity.
The video, likely from these cameras on a home where Irizarry parked, was given to the family by residents of the neighborhood, says their lawyer. They are the first images of the shooting released publicly and depict the actions of 27-year-old officer Mark Dial, a 5-year veteran of the force identified by Philadelphia police as the shooter.
And I just want him to be remembered that he was a good kid and never was in trouble and loved his family. And this officer really took someone very special to us.
Officer Dial has been pulled off the street and is the subject of investigations by the police and the DA. The video further undercuts the department's early claims that Irizarry was out of his vehicle lunging at officers with a knife. Police later corrected their statements, revealing the officer's body-worn cameras showed Irizarry was shot behind the wheel of his car. Attorney Johnson says police lied.
He didn't even give him a second to follow that command. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. Drop the effing knife. Blast.
Police have not commented on the video. Early afternoon, and the family returns to a small memorial on East Willard where Irizarry's father wept and others demanded answers.
With the evidence that we put out there today, I'm hoping that someone from the district or someone come to our family and tell us something. We need answers. Why?
The district attorney's office says it has been in touch with the family through their attorney. The Fraternal Order of Police, the police union, says it supports the officers. Attorney Johnson says he will sue the city of Philadelphia and the officer himself. Live in North Philadelphia, Jeff Cole, Fox 29 News. Sheba.
All right, Jeff, thank you. A deadly hit and run in Port Richmond overnight, and tonight a 19-year-old is facing homicide charges, and it's not his first run-in with police. Jenny, you spoke with some people who knew the victim?
Good evening, Sheba. Yes, multiple people say that they know that this man is from the area. However, police say right now he is listed as a John Doe. Tonight we are learning that the young driver who killed him already had a criminal history. Philadelphia police say 19-year-old Joseph Van Knocker of Levittown, seen here in a mugshot from last fall when he was charged with inciting a riot in Old City, is now charged with homicide by vehicle, murder, and reckless driving, hours after police say the blue Charger he was racing on Castor Avenue near Aramingo hit and killed a pedestrian.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm kind of shocked at what happened.
Jay Santasierra says the man was known in the area. Police say he is listed as a John Doe.
He was a friend of mine, you know what I mean? I was pretty close to him.
Investigators say the hit and run happened just after midnight. Police say the Charger was racing another car when his vehicle plowed into the man who was crossing the street. Investigators say Van Auker and a 16-year-old passenger took off from the scene. They were later picked up by police in Pennsauken, New Jersey.
Nice kid. He was a nice kid.
Vernon Collick says he has gotten to know the victim from working in the area.
I get here 5:15 in the morning. He comes in maybe around 7. And he's always here for the last 3 years. But I knew he was going to get hit at some point, and I've talked to him. But he comes, and everybody knows he's here, so he gets money.
Collick spent the day warning others about the dangers of panhandling along a busy road.
I've been up here at night. They drag race. They had them four-wheelers also. They're coming around. They spinning around and all the way up and down here.
Collick says the victim's situation was even more dangerous. He suffered from seizures and has had multiple medical emergencies at the intersection where he was ultimately killed.
I mean, it really hurts to know I'm not going to see him again because we've helped him so many times.
And the man's friends say that the victim does have family members. It's unclear whether or not they have been made aware of what happened overnight. Sheba.
Jenny Joyce, thank you. And we have new details tonight in a deadly shooting at a funeral luncheon in Delaware County for a man murdered just days before. Tonight, new video provided to Fox 29 shows the moments the shooter opened fire. Dozens of shots fired, one after the other. Police say one person was killed, 3 others injured. And Kelly, you have new information on this investigation tonight.
So, Sheba, police still believe this was a retaliatory shooting connected to a murder in Clifton Heights on Thursday night, but police are now saying they believe this is also connected to an ongoing feud in Southwest Philadelphia. They say they are working with multiple agencies to try to piece this all together.
This guy finished crying because somebody's child was laying on that floor till midnight.
New surveillance video provided to Fox 29 captures the moments leading up to a mass shooting at a funeral luncheon in Upper Darby Monday night that left 1 man dead and 3 others injured. Police believe a man got out of a dark-colored Chevy Malibu around 5:15 and opened fire.
I just heard the gunshots, and I just ran to the bed. I'm screaming, calling 911.
Rowena Folk owns this now boarded-up event space on Long Lane and the daycare next door. Fortunately, she says the last child left minutes before the shooting. She says she allowed the family of 39-year-old James Ford to use the space for free for the repass. Ford was murdered in Clifton Heights Thursday night, according to police.
I was hesitant at first because I'm like, I don't want any problems, you know. So she said just some family, a little family. And I said, okay.
Upper Darby police say there were 50 to 100 people at the venue when they responded. They believe the shooting was retaliation from the Thursday night Clifton Heights murder, and now they believe there are ties to Southwest Philadelphia.
To use street terms, there's a beef that's going on amongst a group of people. The incident that occurred Thursday night in Clifton Heights, there was an incident that occurred in Southwest Philadelphia, and we know that our incident yesterday is tied to that.
Clifton Heights police announced that they arrested 25-year-old Burchett King for the Thursday night homicide. Sources say he's the nephew of Ford and that he was in custody at the time of the Upper Darby shooting. Falk now says she has thousands of dollars worth of repairs.
I'm not mad that I did it because I do lots of things, feed the homeless, all of that. But, of course, I wish it wouldn't have happened. That's all.
Upper Darby police say they are still working to identify the tag of that Chevy Malibu and say they will make it public once they're able to recover that from the video. They do still want to talk to witnesses. If you have any information, call police. Sheba.
Kelly Rule, thank you. That stunning new video showing a Philadelphia police officer opening fire on a man who just parked his car. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Sheba Russell. The deadly shooting unfolding in mere seconds, captured on home surveillance video, released today by the attorney for the man's family. And new tonight, city leaders announcing they plan to provide an update on this case at a news conference tomorrow. Our Chris O'Connell following all the new developments for us tonight. Chris?
Well, Sheba, that video showing a police officer opening fire at nearly point-blank range, killing Eddie Irizarry, has prompted an afternoon press conference tomorrow with Mayor Jim Kenney and Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw. At the same time, new calls tonight for that officer's resignation, and we have to warn you, it's video that's disturbing to watch.
In my view, This is a crime against humanity.
Demanding answers, attorneys and family members holding a press conference to release doorbell camera footage of last week's police shooting killing 27-year-old Eddie Irizarry.
I just want him to be remembered that he was a good kid and never was in trouble and loved his family. And this officer really took someone very special to us.
They are the first public images showing Irizarry driving his Toyota Corolla down the wrong way of the 100 block of East Willard Street. You hear 5-year veteran Officer Mark Dial and his partner yelling to Irizarry, still behind the wheel, his window still rolled up. Dial then opening fire at point-blank range 6 seconds after getting out of his police car.
He didn't even give him a second to follow that command. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. Drop the effing knife. Blast.
Irizarry shot 6 times, according to his family. Police say inside the car, 2 knives were found.
But just on this, I'm going to look at the position the police officers pull up, their approach to the vehicle, any commands that are being given.
We showed the video to retired Philadelphia police detective and attorney Chris Boyle. As a consultant, he now trains police departments across the state in use of force policy.
Trying to simulate a situation before actually putting an officer out there.
So far, Irizarry's family hasn't seen the police body cam footage. It's something Boyle says could provide more answers.
Let the experts do their job and understand that no police officer wants to take another person's life. It's a decision that all of us fear.
And tonight, in a statement, the Citizens Police Oversight Commission says, based on the information we have reviewed, we have recommended that PPD terminate Officer Dial. This agency was created for moments such as this. It is our responsibility to hold our police department accountable and also amplify the voices of our community. The Fraternal Order of Police says they are also standing by Officer Dial as they review the facts. But again, a press conference scheduled with the commissioner and the mayor at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Sheba.
An attempted robbery and carjacking at a North Philly gas station, but this time the victim pulled out her own gun and fought back, and now they are both in the hospital. Hank is live with the details.
Good morning, guys. How about that, right? It happened just a few hours ago up at 22nd and Allegheny, and sometimes police don't actually need 911 to be called when they're on patrol in the neighborhood and hear gunshots themselves. They get there a whole lot quicker. 10:30 last night, guys, police heard shots fired themselves and responded as they do. When they arrived, they found 2 people, a 35-year-old woman shot twice in the leg and a 22-year-old male hit in the leg and lower back. Both were transported to Temple University Hospital. Police say they each each shot the other when the man tried to rob and carjack the woman as she topped off the tank.
A 35-year-old female stated she was pumping gas at the gas station at 22nd and Allegheny when the male approached her and then grabbed her from behind, put her in a bear hug, and attempted to rob her and carjack her. There was a struggle between both where they both pulled guns and they shot each other. So the female was shot twice in the leg and the male was shot in the back and the leg. But we know they shot each other. Police found them both on the gas station grounds at 22nd and Allegheny when they arrived immediately because they heard the gunshots.
Now, guys, police say they have video, multiple angles of the whole thing from the gas station. They're also saying this hour they're holding the 22-year-old male as a prisoner at Temple Hospital. The woman is a victim. Both are in stable condition, and they know this, again, because they've studied the video to find out exactly what went down. And Chief Inspector Small tells us that the man walked up behind the woman and put her in a bear hug to demand the car and the money. That's when she pulled out her weapon, and she is registered to carry. After all, sources, independent sources, tell us that she is she was an off-duty corrections officer, so she is law enforcement, and she's more than capable, obviously, of defending herself. Both are recovering at Temple Hospital right now. Guys.
Shootout at a gas station. Okay.
Suspended with intent to dismiss. That's the action being taken against the Philly police officer who shot and killed a man during a traffic stop. The announcement coming this afternoon from the city's top cop. I'm Sheba Russell. But Commissioner Danielle Outlaw says the action is not related to the shooting itself, rather the officer violating a couple policies. Our Jeff Cole following the story for us tonight. So Jeff, could criminal charges still be filed against the officer here?
Absolutely. The district attorney is investigating the officer for just that purpose, possible criminal charges. Unclear if that will happen or not. But the police department certainly says that Mark Dial, as an officer, is required to take part in the department's investigation of that fatal North Philly shooting. He did not, so he will be fired. One day after video was released of police officer Mark Dial shooting and killing Eddie Irizarry as he sat in his parked car, and the 27-year-old 5-year veteran of the police force is suspended with intent to fire, but not for the shooting.
I have made the decision to utilize Commissioner's direct action to suspend police officer Mark Dial with the intent to dismiss him at the end of 30 days due to administrative violations.
Those violations, says Outlaw, are failing to take part in the police department's investigation of the fatal shooting on Monday, August 14th in North Philadelphia, when Irizarry, 27, was seen driving the wrong way on East Willard Street. Police say Dial had 72 hours to tell Internal Affairs investigators his side of the story. He did not. The attorney representing the Irizarry family says Dial deserves to be fired, but not only for the policy violations. Should he be fired for shooting your client's brother dead in his car?
Yes, sir. Unequivocally. Let me look at you and say this. Yes.
And should that have happened today?
That should have happened today.
Police say their investigation is ongoing, as is the DA's probe for possible criminal charges of the officer. Irizarry, described by his family as a schizophrenic and unable to speak English, was shot within moments of police arriving.
If we commit a crime, we will already be in jail. He's still not in jail. Why? What's going on?
Mayor Kenny, standing behind Outlaw Wednesday, called the shooting a tragedy, but stopped there. How do you react to that video that was released yesterday, though, Mayor? You saw it?
I just told you I can't react to it. It's an ongoing investigation. And no matter how many times you ask me or how many different ways you ask me, I can't comment on it because it's an ongoing investigation.
Outgoing Mayor Jim Kenny right there. The police union, which says it is supportive of Dial and his partner, both involved in this shooting, declined to comment today. The police department says it found 2 knives in Irizarry's car. Live at the police headquarters, Jeff Cole, Fox 29 News. Sheba.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Happening now, the search is still on for the driver of this pickup truck who police say is behind a hit and run that critically injured a woman out walking her dog in North Philly almost 2 weeks ago. And Marcus, you were able to speak with her. She's understandably shaken, but she believes it was just an accident.
Yeah, Sheba, it's remarkable. Thankfully, this accident did not end with her losing her life. Instead, she's carrying this moment, this experience with incredible grace. 30-year-old Kelsey Rice is not angry at this driver. She's just confused why the driver didn't stop after they hit her. Kelsey Rice and her 2.5-year-old rescue Crow love sharing snacks and going on hikes together. They're best friends and have survived a lot, but nothing could prepare them for what would happen the morning of August 13th on what should have been a normal day.
As I was yelling stop, I was also spinning to get my dog out of the way. And the truck hit me here. And then I went up in the air.
Rice would sacrifice herself and save her dog Crow moments before this white pickup truck failed to yield to her and instead plowed through the crosswalk, severely injuring Rice.
Braced myself with my hands and then watched the truck go over both my legs. And then I yelled stop again, and they sped off.
Rice says no one ran to her rescue. She had to call 911 herself, and she thought she lost everything in that moment.
It was very terrifying. At first, I was my dog's dead, and then I was I might die, and then I was oh, he's about to run over my legs.
Philadelphia police releasing this video of the truck in question and asking the public's help in identifying its owner. The truck is believed to be a white Ford F-150 with damage to the driver's side rear tail light and also carrying landscaping debris. Remarkably, Rice doesn't hold contempt for the driver and believes it simply was an accident.
I feel silly, but I'm just like, he made a mistake. He just made a mistake. And I bet he feels scared right now, but I feel scared too.
Rice is determined to return to her active lifestyle as she rehabs and vows to be back on the trail with her dog Crow as soon as possible.
We go once a week normally, so this is like really hard.
Sheba, a lot of dog owners say they would give their life for their pet. Well, Kelsey very nearly did. She saved her dog, Crow. Not a scratch on Crow. He is perfectly healthy, fine, and okay. And also, folks, if you want to help along with Kelsey's journey, there is a GoFundMe set up by her incredible brother right now. We'll have that listed on fox29.com in a couple minutes. You can go there, you can contribute, and you can help Kelsey on the path to recovery here.
In Delaware County, a court hearing today for reality star Bam Margera. Bail for Margera set for $50,000 in connection with an alleged drunken argument he had with a woman in the parking lot of the Radnor Hotel earlier this month. Margera issued a citation for public intoxication and disorderly conduct. Margera today ordered to wear an alcohol monitoring bracelet for at least 30 days, go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings weekly, and stay in southeastern Pennsylvania. And the search is on for this man wanted in a violent attack in Fairmount. The victim told police the man attacked her from behind, punched her, and started poking her in the eyes. Here's our Shawnette Wilson with more.
Residents tell me they've had robberies and cars stolen, but nothing this violent on their block.
It's very concerning that something like that happened in our neighborhood.
Surveillance video provided by police shows a man they say is a suspect in the attack of a woman while walking in Fairmount. Amanda Carishan lives on the block where it happened.
It's pretty scary. I try to hide my bag or even just your car. It's scary getting out of your car, just walking around late at night. Luckily, I have two male neighbors who offer to walk with me and things like that.
Police say it happened Monday, August 14th, just before 9 o'clock at night. Investigators say the woman was walking here on the 700 block of North Uber Street when the suspect came from behind, punched her several times, and poked her in the eye. That is until the victim gave him her cell phone.
We've lived here for about 3 years now, and we haven't had any issues like that.
Leanna Liss was out walking her dogs, Monty and Roscoe, this evening. She loves the neighborhood and says she's raising a family here, but doesn't walk around at night like she used to.
But when I walk the dogs at night, I'm very quick outside, back in.
David Perrier says crime happening everywhere is a result of not enough love and a lot of hate. He says it has to stop.
When we see injustice, we got to speak on it, instead of just letting it go. So, it's a shame that has happened, but then again, it's not going to be the first and it's not going to be the last. But then again, we got to, step up and do something about it.
Video of the suspect appears to be from inside a convenience store. Police point out this distinct graphic tee he's wearing. They didn't say if the victim suffered any physical injuries, especially from being poked in the eye.
Yeah, that seems very strange and he could escalate or something like that.
There are a few doorbell cameras on homes on the street. Residents tell me they will check to see if there's anything captured that can help with the investigation. Shawnette Wilson, Fox 29 News.
Two separate shooting scenes totaling more than 130 shots fired. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris O'Connell.
And I'm Dawn Timoney. 2 people are dead and 3 others hurt. And as our Marcus Espinoza reports, the shootings erupted just hours apart.
I was like, oh my gosh, they shooting.
2 Philadelphia neighborhoods rocked by gun violence on Thursday as more than 130 shots rang out, killing 2 and injuring 3 others. The first shooting erupting in this Queen Village neighborhood at 3rd and Montrose just before 5:30.
It's a pretty large scene. We have over 75 spent shell casings. So we know over 75 shots were fired by what appears to be at least 2 separate caliber weapons.
A 19-year-old was shot 5 times and killed in that hail of gunfire. A second teenager, also 19, arrived at a local hospital with a single gunshot wound but is in stable condition. In Ring doorbell footage obtained by Fox 29, you can see the aftermath as neighbors rush and try to help the person shot.
A neighbor who didn't want her face shown says the moment it happened, everyone in her house got on the floor and took cover from the bullets.
It's really terrifying, and you know, they always say bullets have no names on it, and I'm thankful. Like, I thank God that it didn't hit our house.
Several homes and cars were damaged by the excessive shooting, and workers were busy repairing homes affected. Neighbors who have lived here for more than 2 decades say they are now terrified to even go about their daily lives.
It's scary, you know, and then now I'm kind of scared and worried when I come home from work.
Just a few hours later at the corner of 7th and Daly Streets in South Philadelphia, 3 men were shot as more than 60 gunshots were fired here, killing 38-year-old Charles Fickling.
It appears by the location of where these shell casings are located, there may have been some sort of shootout between one or more people or groups of people.
Surveillance video obtained by Fox 29 shows at 8:50 Thursday night around the corner of 7th and Daly, an SUV pull up, stop in the street, and several people run out. Witnesses tell us seconds later the gunfire started. You then see a group run back into the SUV and drive off. Philadelphia police are investigating whether these 2 shootings are connected in some way, but have not drawn that conclusion yet. Connected or not, Philadelphia continues to be plagued by the epidemic of gun violence, and residents are at a loss.
We just never experienced anything like that.
At police headquarters, Marcus Espinoza, Fox 29 News.
Right now, a $5,000 reward is being offered to find the driver who hit and killed a young mother in Southwest Philadelphia. Tonight, we know the victim is the daughter of a longtime Delaware County police officer, and the community is calling for that driver to turn themselves in. Here's our Eddie Kadam.
The FOP president talked to the mother of 27-year-old Ashley McLean today, saying the family is obviously still processing this tragedy and asking anybody that has any information to come forward. Friends and family set up a GoFundMe for 27-year-old Ashley McLean. Seen here, she is a mother of 2 young daughters, and her mother is a police officer in Delaware County and member of the Delaware County Lodge 27.
I've known her mother for over 15 years, you know. She's like family to us here at Fallcroft Police Department. Her daughter was 27 years old, had 2 beautiful young girls, 7 and 2. She had a whole life ahead of her, and you know, it was tragically taken this morning.
Around 2:30 Saturday morning, McLean was killed in a hit and run that happened on the 8400 block of Lindbergh Boulevard. Police say the striking vehicle drove off, leaving her for dead.
We're going to find you. You know, I mean, these law enforcement officers in this area are some of the best in the state, so there's no doubt we're going to find the driver. It's just a matter of when we find the driver. Philadelphia Police, they're working on it. It's one of the best police departments in the country.
The vehicle is described as a 2023 Honda Accord with New York tags LDM 2367. And police say it was recovered Saturday afternoon, but they haven't released any information on suspects that they're looking for.
If you saw someone driving that gray Honda last night, call the tip line. You know, we'll get you a $5,000 check today. That person doesn't have to be convicted. Just give us the name and we're going to go get them and pick them up.
The FOP president says no vigil has been scheduled yet for the family. A GoFundMe has been set up, and we have a link on fox29.com.